Hey there, Prairie Plant Girl here. I am now 8 weeks before my average last frost date, and I'm going to be starting my tomatoes. So I have my tomatoes all laid out here. You can't see them through this pile of pots, but back here there's a bunch of packs of tomatoes, and I have my labels made up. And then I've just set a tray of, these are about 4-inch pots. Filled them with my regular seed starting mix, which is just a peat moss perlite mix, and it's just in a tray of water, so they're soaking the water up from the bottom and starting to get damp. So sowing tomatoes is really easy, but when you live in a cold climate such as myself, I live in Saskatchewan, Canada. I'm in growing zone 4, and that means I need to start them early so that they have time to mature and finish ripening before we get our frosts. I have about 110 frost-free days starting about mid-May, sometimes late May. So we want to get these started now so that they're ready to plant out and nice strong plants to put out when the weather warms up. So that's all I'm going to be doing. And like I said, I just have these pots here. I'm going to be planting probably about 6 seeds in each pot. And then I can divide them up into other pots later, but this just saves a little bit of room while I still have quite a bit going on in my my plant room here. Not quite ready to get things out into the greenhouse yet. In fact, we have had freezing rain and snow overnight and all day today, so not quite done with winter yet, even though we're into the end of March. So I've made my tags, and I have just put down a B for bush or an S for staking. Other terms you might know for these tomatoes would be determinate, would be the same as a bush type. So that just means that they're going to grow a little bit, usually not as tall, but fill it a little more. And they will set all of their fruit within a very short period of time, and it'll all ripen within a few weeks of the beginning of them ripening. A staking or indeterminate variety just keeps on growing and growing and growing taller and taller. It can get quite bushy if you don't keep it trimmed back. And then they will just keep setting fruit and growing taller and setting fruit until disease or cold weather takes the plant out, or of course if you take the plant out. So that's the two kind of main varieties of tomato or types, is your determinate or bush, or other words that you would have would be staking or indeterminate. So they'll say that on the package usually. If it doesn't, it's good to know those things. So do a quick search online and try and find that variety so that you can see if you have a tomato that's going to be better off in a really good sturdy cage, or if you want one big stake. I use 6-foot tall metal poles to stake my indeterminate or staking tomatoes to, and then I keep them trimmed to one main stalk with just side shoots and not a lot of extra branching. So a little bit of knowledge on tomato growing, but that's just something I think is important to know when you're planning your space and planning what tomatoes to grow. So the first one I'm going to plant here is a bush type, and it's a paste. It's the Roma. So great, just general tomato to plant. And these are saved seed, and they're a little bit older, so I will actually stick a few extra into the pots just to make sure that we have something viable here, if I can even get it open. So being that this is saved seed, and I grow all my tomatoes close together, it's not necessarily going to be a Roma bush tomato, Roma paste tomato, but usually I have something fairly similar when I save seed. When I save seed, I don't do the fermenting and things. I just kind of scoop out the seeds out of the tomato and just let it dry on like a wax paper or parchment paper or something, and usually they do quite well for me. So I'm just gonna throw a few of these here. Like I said, these are pretty old, into that pot there. And I put my label in that pot. And then I have a Mamma Mia paste tomato. So like about 7 seeds fell out, so I'll just throw them all in this pot. Get the tag in. There's a few tomato seeds left in there, and then I have an Amish paste. There's a couple of seeds in this pack. I'm not sure how many. I do have a new pack if I need it. Yeah, that should finish that pack. So there's 2, 4, 6, maybe 8. There's kind of a clump here. So I'll just kind of sprinkle them on the soil surface. And then we have another bush type paste tomato. This is a San Marzano. So I like to grow a variety of paste tomatoes. Well, I like to grow a variety of all my tomatoes really, because you never know if you have a little bit of crop failure or disease in one. Sometimes the others will be better for some reason that year. And they all mature just slightly different times. And so you kind of get a staggered effect of when they're coming into their own. And then usually by the end of the season, I have lots of tomatoes of different varieties, different flavors that I can make into sauces and salsas and things to preserve for the winter. So I really like having that. Okay, now I have some cherry tomatoes, and I just have the one seed of the one variety, so I'm just going to put them both in one pot. The first one I'm going to do is the Super Sweet 100, and I don't actually need a ton of these, so I'm just going to put about 3 seeds, and that should give me at least 1 extra plant. And then I have the Sun Gold, and I believe there's just 1 seed in this package, so try and free it from the pack here. And I had looked for more of these, and when I was seed shopping I couldn't find any more, so I just have the one. Tomatoes usually grow pretty well, so hopefully I get something out of that. Now I have one of my favorite tomatoes is the Manitoba Bush variety of tomato. This is just a good cold climate tomato, nice kind of oval bush tomato that I think is a nice size for using in a variety of ways, and it's not too wet or too dry for anything. I just think it's just a really nice all-around tomato, so I always like to have some of those on hand. Now I have the Japanese black trifeli, and this is a steaking tomato. I love black tomatoes, as you'll see. I have several here. So again, there's maybe 8. This one is a favorite. A lot of people will come and pick up extra tomato plants from me, friends and neighbors, and so that's always a favorite. Then I have the oh no, I'm not. I thought I was missing one. Then I have the black Krim. This is the tomato that started me on black tomatoes. Really, really good. A smoky tomato flavor. I love it. So that's 1 pack empty. And again, this is one that usually people are looking for plants when they come by. They're like, do you have any of that black one and the dark shoulder? Usually this one they're looking for. It's a big kind of globe shaped tomato. So I'll plant a few extras because somebody will be looking for it. And then I have black vernissage. I've tried the green vernissage. I did not care for it, but I do like the black. It's just that different depth of flavor between a green and a black tomato. There's some more seeds there than I probably needed, but spread them out a bit. Radiator Charlie's Mortgage Lifter. Any of the Mortgage Lifter named tomatoes are usually pretty nice round tomatoes, good for like sandwiches and things, nice big tomatoes. And then the last one is Thornburn's Terracotta, which is a newer one that, like, new discovery to me. It's not a new tomato, but it's like more of a tan color, hence the terracotta name. And it has just a little bit different flavor, and I really enjoy it. Now, tomatoes do need to be covered, just with about a 1/4 inch or so of soil. So I'm just going to take a small handful, plop it on top of each, and then I can just kind of spread it out. And that should get them roughly buried a 1/4 inch deep. I'm not being too precise. Tomatoes generally grow fairly well with very little effort. They're said to be that gateway, like, vegetable garden plant that people will start with some tomatoes, little patio pots or something of tomatoes, and then they move on to more and more vegetables that they grow on their own as they get confident and enjoy that flavor of fresh grown, homegrown produce. So, and I know I really enjoy a homegrown tomato over anything I could find at the store, especially here. I mean, in warmer climates it might not make as much difference, but our produce is shipped in from so far most of the year that it's not picked at its peak. It's just not the same as plants that are grown in your own garden. Now I'm just going to wipe the tops just to make sure that those seeds have good contact with the soil. Just kind of help settle them down into the soil. Like I said, they're sitting in water that's going to wick up through these pots and moisten all the soil. This is just kind of to get more the seeds settled down into the soil and the soil settled around the seeds than it is about getting the soil moist. So So now that I have them all settled down into the soil, they're going to need a humidity dome. And because I have them in a little bit taller plant pots, it's not going to fit perfectly. I do have taller domes, but they're at my greenhouse. I'm not going to run out and grab one. I'm just going to make do with what I have inside here. So it doesn't have to be perfectly sealed. You just want to be able to hold some of the humidity on there. So there is a little gap there, but that'll be just fine. And it's quite warm in my room, so they don't necessarily need to be on a heat mat. I'll probably just set them right here behind me under some grow lights. Again, they don't technically need light yet. They're covered with a 1/4 inch of soil. Then as soon as they sprout up, they have light right there ready. If they aren't sprouting quickly for some reason, I will put a heat mat under them. But usually within a week, you'll have tomatoes up. I find, like I said, it's usually quite warm in here, like in the mid-20s Celsius. So I don't find a heat mat for tomatoes super necessary. So I'm just gonna grab my tray here. And pop it over. And now my tomatoes are ready to go. I'm also going to be needing to work on my sweet peppers. My hot peppers are up. I started these last month, I believe. Yeah, it would have been in February. And they're up and they're about ready. I need to be dividing these out into more pots. But they've all come up now. Even it's a jalapeno. Somewhere there's Hungarian hot wax. I'm guessing that's this one, yeah. I didn't have a lot of seeds of it, and you can see there's just 3 plants up, and they took forever. You can see how much smaller they are from the Matchbox chili, which would have been one of the first plants to come up. I always find Hungarian hot wax takes an extremely long time for whatever reason, but they're all up now, so I will be dividing these out into larger pots very soon, and also getting my sweet peppers started. I'll be starting my sweet peppers the exact same way that I started my hot peppers and my tomatoes. It's the same thing. Filling a pot with soil, I'm gonna put multiple seeds in the pot and label it. It's just a space saving thing for me. You could start them in trays like this. You could start them each in their own individual pot or solo cup or whatever you like to grow your tomatoes in, to grow them on. You just need to get them started. And this just gives me a little bit more time. Like I said, those hot peppers, they take a bit longer. They've been there for about a month. So that just took less space and things in my grow room. But I'm not gonna bring you along for the sweet peppers, but I'm gonna start, I'll maybe go through them real quick. So if you wanna know the varieties I'm growing maybe. I have Sweet Sunrise. This is a yellow bell pepper. California Wonder. This one goes to red, I believe. Most peppers, a lot of peppers anyway, start green and then they mature to their final color. And then I have a California Golden Wonder, so it's more of a yellow, kind of yellow orange, I think, actually, this one. Last year was the first time I grew it, I believe. I think it might be more orange than yellow. I have a mini bell mix, and this is just saved seeds that I saved years ago, and it's just little tiny little sweet peppers. They're nice for just munching on, and they come in a variety of colors in these little packs, but I pretty much have mine honed down to the orange and red now for what I've collected seed from, and they seem to come fairly true that way. I have Sweet Lipstick. It's a very, very dark red, very sweet. I don't know, it has a really nice flavor to it. I have more just saved seed from Sweet Lipstick. North Star, I can't remember what color this is. I have a few seeds left. I can't remember what color that one is. Early Prolific is a green, I think it just stays green at maturity. They start really early. They're a little bit smaller size bell pepper with just like 3 bumps on the bottom instead of a lot of bell peppers are 4 and will kind of stand nicely. These are a little more wobbly, a little bit more elongated. But they start really early. They produce quite a few peppers on the plant, and they're just a nice way to kind of get your pepper season started. And Toy Romanian, feels like there's still peppers in there, and I love these. They're kind of more of a pale yellow, almost white, but they do mature to kind of an orangey red. And I have a candy cane package, but I'm pretty sure it's empty. This is another nice pepper I'd highly recommend. I think I had looked for the seed though and couldn't find any this year, and decided I had obviously plenty to go without. This grows a very interesting plant if you're growing them on like a patio or something. The leaves are variegated and the peppers are striped, kind of a white and red coloring, so hence the candy cane name. Very nice pepper. And then I always like to grow some banana peppers. These are sweet banana peppers, not to be confused with the hot banana peppers. And these are very nice. I like them for pickling, to add in to my pickled peppers, so it's not just a fire. Just a nice combination of plants that way. So that's what I'm growing for my sweet peppers. I'm not sure how many varieties that was. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it looks like. But like I said, they'll be going into the soil the exact same way I've already done the hot peppers and the tomatoes for you this year. So I'm not going to show that to you again, but rest assured they will be getting sown in the next day or two. So if you're wondering when to sow your peppers, these I could have actually done last week, but I was away, and they will be getting done right away. So thanks for coming along with me today while I got my tomatoes going and went through my sweet peppers, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.